Hello folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel Learn to Code by Saurav. Today in this video I am going to show you how to handle the exceptions in a proper way. And I am going to use the existing project which I have developed in previous series. So before going forward, I would highly recommend to watch my previous series so that you understand better. Link is in the description below. Now let's start with the video. So as you already know that we were throwing few exceptions like runtime exceptions with the message user not found when user is not available. As you can see here in the user service class, runtime exception user not found. So when this exception occurs, we get this kind of error message. Let me show you quickly in the Postman. Yeah, this kind of error message. Timestamp status 500 error, internal server error, and path with the status code 500. So we don't want that because in real time we don't use this predefined response. We create our own response as per project need. Now let's see how we can achieve that functionality with the exception handling. So let's go back to the service app. First of all, we will create a package structure. So in the main package, create a package called exception. Inside this exception package, we will create two packages, one for DTO and one for custom exception. Custom exception. Now let's first create our own exception class, which is user not found exception class, so that we will throw user not found exception instead of this runtime exception. So let's first create that class in the custom exception package. Click on package, new Java class, user not found exception. Yep. Now in this class, import this class with extend this class with runtime exception. So this user not found exception class is also a runtime exception class, but with proper error message and error code. So we'll create two attributes, private string error code, private string error message. Now let's create two constructors. One is default and one is parameterized. User not found default. One is parameterized, user not found string error code, error message, this data code. Now let's create setter and getter for these two attributes so that we can get this error code and error message in different class. Also create a toString method. So right click anywhere in the working area, click on generate, click on toString, select all the attribute and OK. Instead of throwing this runtime exception, we will replace it with user not found exception, our own created exception. User not found. So I'll keep this message as a message, and before this I'll put one more parameter, which is error code, user not found. So in real-time project we ideally write this error code as capital letter. So I'm gonna use this convention throughout the application. Let's copy paste this part everywhere wherever the runtime exception is there. So here, also here. Don't worry about this. I will explain every flow at the end of the video. As of now, you can follow along with me. Now let's create one DTO in DTO package. Click on right click on DTO, new Java class. Name this as error response. Error response. So this is the class. This is the object which will be sent to the response finally. Here also create a final variable. Here also create same variable as user not found exception class. Private string error code, private string error message. Create setter getter and toString method for the attributes. Getter and setter, select all attribute. Also toString. Generate toString all the attribute. Okay. So yeah. Now let's create the custom exception handler class, which will handle all the exceptions. Not package, sorry. Class custom exception handler. It is like a controller class. So mark this class as controller device annotation. Now whenever the exception occurs in anywhere in the project, it will land in this class. Now we will create endpoints to handle the specific exceptions. So we have one exception, user not found exception, which will be thrown from this user class from three places. So whenever this exception occurs, it will land in custom exception handler class to the particular endpoint. So let's create endpoint public public response entity of error response. This error response which we have created just now, and name this method as handle exception, handle user not found exception. Mark this class, mark this method as exception handler. Also pass the parameter to this annotation as user not found. class, so that whenever the user not found exception occurs from anywhere in the project, it will land with this method. Also pass user not found exception as a parameter here, exception. Now we have to throw this error message to the client, which contains error code and error message. Now let's create object of it, error response, equal to new error response. Now error response dot set error code and error response dot set error message. So in this error code we will get this error code from the exception not get error code. There also exception dot get error message. So what we have done is we have created this class user not found exception, and we have created this error response class, and we are throwing this exception from the user service with the error code user not found and error message user not found. Let's modify this message a bit. User is not available with the ID you provided. Not available with the ID provided. Let's paste this everywhere. So whenever this exception occurs with the error code and this error message, it will go here in the custom exception handler class to this particular endpoint. Now in this endpoint, error response object will be created, and this error response object we will set error code and error message by extracting those values from the user not found exception. Now we just have to send this response to the client. So let's write return statement new response entity error response and http status not found. So I think we are good to test this application. I think we are good to test this application. Now let's restart the server. Has been started. Now let's check in Postman if we are able to get it or not. So we are passing the random number 10. I'm trying to get the single user with the ID 10, and 10 is the random number. It's not a valid number. So we should be getting the proper response. Let's hit the send button. Yeah, as you can see, we are getting the proper exception. Error code is user not found. Error message user is not available with the ID provided, and the status code 404 not found. This means the requested resource could not be found but may be available again in the future. So like this you can do with any exceptions. Any exceptions you create or any user defined exceptions or already inbuilt exceptions. So what we have done here, let me quickly summarize. So we have created one package exception. Inside this package we have created two packages, custom exceptions and DTO. In DTO, we have created one error response, which will be used to send to the client. Custom exception handler and user not found exception in custom exception package. This custom exception handler is like a controller class to handle all the exception occurs in the entire application. So in this video, I have shown you how to handle the exceptions in a proper way and tested it with the Postman. So if you find this video helpful, please do like, share and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.